Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Philly. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
See your face.
I've got a new laptop that hasn't got a camera.
Sorry?
I've got a laptop that I've loaned from work because my proper one is not working and it hasn't got a camera on. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Next time.
Yeah.
But how have you been? Hi, Eva.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Uh,
Let me see.
Nice to see you here. I need to see the bold faces at least. Sorry, Philly, you don't
Let
have
me
camera. Eva, I want to see your
let me
face.
see. Let me see.
There you go.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Where are you watching from?
From Kenya,
How
Kajiado.
is Kajiado? That must be cold.
Kajiado. Yeah, it's quite cold because we are close to the Ngong Hills.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, glad you could join us today.
Yes, it's good to be
Yeah,
here.
yes.
Yeah.
We just catch up a little as we give a, having people texting, having that saying they have a problem with the Zoom link. Did you get in trouble signing in?
No, it just asked me for the
Yeah.
credentials that used to register, and then it
Yeah,
went
because
right
I
to.
like that because I will be sending a replay. So when it's under the Zoom, I just click and say send to the people who came into the meeting, and then it's easy to do like to send it like that. Other than
Oh,
copying the email, bringing them back to Zoom and then out.
yeah.
I might miss a few people here and there. So when it's all under Zoom, then I'm just copying and sending it to them.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
That's easier.
All right. I don't know. Okay. So glad you could join. So I'm going to test my slides and make sure that you guys can see them.
Okay.
So bear with me. Share screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yep.
I can.
Okay. So all right. I needed to share that and then make sure that you can all see them so that we don't start and I'm like, oh, we can see your slides. Technology sometimes has its own mind. Thanks, Paula, for joining. How you doing? I know you might be busy, but thanks you could join.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yes, it's good to have you. It's just giving a few minutes for a few more people to join in, then we will kick off because it's a Saturday and I don't want to take a minute of your time more than I should. Kelly, how is the weather?
It's been all right today. 23 degrees. Well, cold, but it's all right. 23 degrees is good enough. We're happy with 23.
As we are kind of roasting still here. It's
Oh, I'm
very hot.
jealous.
Yeah, it's still hot. Paul, are you outdoors today or you just indoors? If you could.
Hey, I'm indoors, just getting some stuff done.
Yeah, it's hot out there. Okay. 1 more minute and we just going to begin. Whoever joins us will join us. If they want, they will catch up a replay. That will be okay. Okay, let's go ahead and jump right in and we're gonna have this. So I would like us to go ahead. I'll go ahead and share my screen and where did it go? Okay, there we are. Go ahead and share my screen and it will take it off. Thank you for coming on camera, Eva. I like that. Thanks. Good slide. Okay. Why is it not showing? Okay, there we go. So hopefully whoever joins, I'll be able to see them coming onto the room and we'll see how it goes. All right, so welcome everybody to things. So thanks, Eva. The rest may not be able to join on camera and that's okay, but at least I have you, we can have a chat. So that's great. So I want you to put it on the chat and tell me your name and where you're watching from. And then already, Eva, you're bold enough to show in your camera. So that's great. The rest may not be able to, and that's okay. Not worries at all. So one more thing, tell me the greatest reason you came to this masterclass today. Tell me your why. Why are you here today? Because I want to see if what I will tell you today is going to meet that reason. And if not, then we will see how we can move it on because you're the VIP today. I can make sure that we meet that goal. So tell me in the chat, why are you here today? If you can unmute yourself, Eva, because you're on camera, I would love to hear why you're here today. So Eva is watching from Kenya in Kajiado. Feli is here because of health reasons, to try to lose weight. Paula, we are going to lose the weight. We are not trying. We are going to lose it. So that's good. We are going to lose it. So we are going to. It's going to be a good journey. Yeah, Paula is in El Paso, like where I am. She's in my local time. So. And how is the weather in, okay, Philly already told me it's around 23 degrees. So that's in Celsius, not in Fahrenheit. I have to be careful when I'm listening to these temperatures. All right, to lose weight. Okay, so the title for today is dropping a size or two, losing the weight and keeping it off. It's possible. I know the market in weight loss is saturated with a lot of information. There's a lot of things, and you're like, okay, what is correct, what is not correct? Some will tell you go run, I don't know how many miles, sign up a gym membership, do all these things. Others will tell you change what you eat. And there's a lot of information. Mr. Google has brought us a wild array of all sorts of information out there. You can Google and you can get like a zillion things to be told on the internet. But then what is the right thing? I use a method that is just based on two major things. That is your kitchen, basically what you eat, and your faith. And there's no extreme exercise. Actually, when I was losing my weight personally, I was not exercising because I didn't have the time to. As much as exercise is not bad, it's not the major thing to lose weight. So no extreme diets. Tell me, have you done any diets? Tell me in the chat. How many diets have you done? How many things have you tried to lose weight before? And either they worked for a while, they didn't work long term, or they have not worked at all. Tell me how many diets in a total have you tried? Somebody who has tried several of them. How many? Okay, so Paula says she's tried several. I think my greatest one was just avoiding food, and I like to eat. If you know me, I like to eat beef, I like to eat meat, I like to do all these things. Unless I'm praying and fasting, I don't like to go without food. So that's kind of me. So somebody has done calorie counting, Weight Watchers. Yeah, I love food, Paula. And there's a saying that goes in a lot of Baptist churches, like when there's no food, there is not good fellowship. So intermittent fasting, vegetarian diet, McKenna. So we've tried a lot of things, and I want to give you a simple plan that can sustain long term, that you can tweak and do it on your own. But with help, you get to achieve results, because even me, and we will see about my story a little bit later, but just a small touch on it. Even me being a dietitian, I had to seek for help. There are things we don't get to put when they teach you in school. There are things you don't put together. But even beyond the education, there are things that you can never quite just do when you're walking a journey alone. I used to watch soccer a lot, what a lot of people in the UK or in the African countries are called football. Football here in the US is something totally different. It's not soccer. So I had to learn that very quickly. But I used to watch soccer, and one of the teams is Liverpool, and it's not my team. I don't support Liverpool. That's something for a different day. But Liverpool, their slogan is never walk alone. And I like that thing because God didn't create us to walk in on our own. We've been created to live in community, in support with one another, and we'll be able to see how that comes in to help us in our weight loss and health journey. So thank you so much for participating. I'm liking this, and thank you. So at any point, if you don't see my screens, let me know. So you've tried to lose weight before. What have you tried? So we already talked about that. Tell me what amount of kilograms or pounds you're looking to lose. How much are you looking to lose? Because I like putting things down. I never used to like putting my goals down before I started kind of working on myself. But I found that when you put your goals down, when you write things, you start resonating with them. You start putting them into action. Your mind and your mindset starts to change and starts to resonate with where your goals want to go. So somebody's looking to lose 20 kilograms, that's around 40 pounds, 40, 42 pounds. So we are looking at an average of 20 kilograms. So that's very possible. We will see how we will be able to achieve that. So let's keep that on. Let's keep that going and keep writing them. Keep writing them. One of the things, and we will see it as we continue, but one of the greater things that I needed to be writing down, even as you look to losing your weight, is why do you want to lose that weight? So start thinking on that. Why do you want to lose that weight? Because it might look very simple, but that will keep you going when you don't want to go on the journey. Because as much as it's a simple method, it's not easy. I will not sit here and lie to you, oh, it's a walk in the park. No, if it was a walk in the park, everybody will be good with their weight loss. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, but it's possible. But why I'm doing it, why you're doing it, is going to be one of the greatest reasons why you're going to persevere. All right, so let's get this going. So here's what we're going to look into this class today. How can weight loss help in your health? And why weight loss done right could be the tool that changes your life. I don't want to say that weight loss is a game changer in your entire life, but the things and the things we do and the journeys that come along and intermingle with our weight loss journey, and when it's done right, could be the point. It could be the pivot point where you upgrade your version of life, and it could be the tool that God will use to the next where He wants you to go and what He wants you to do. And one of the reasons why I do what I do and why I like to keep myself where I am, because I'm not going to say that it's a walk, and it's not easy, but it's doable. And when you have the tools, you're able to see, where am I doing right? What am I not doing right? And you're able to keep the trajectory going. And one of the reasons why I like to look at and what keeps really going is God has created you for a purpose. And that purpose needs you healthy, whether it's with your children, your grandchildren, your friends, ministry, meeting up with other people, encouraging other people. You need yourself to be healthy. And we will see how weight loss and keeping to a good health can be a part to that journey. And how do you lose weight while you're living your life? How can you keep that weight off? Because I think that it may not be as much hard to lose like to keeping it off for a long time. So why this is important now? So the question is, why wait? And the cost of inaction, how much more is it going to cost you not taking action? I want to read you a few script excerpts from a Lancet report. Those who are familiar with public health, you know the Lancet report. It's a very popular report. It's very comprehensive. It's a global study. It analyzes disease causes and death and causes of injuries and death globally. And the release of the 2020 report, it states that the global crisis of chronic diseases and failure of public health to stem the rise in highly preventable risk factors have left populations vulnerable to health emergencies such as COVID. So you find that even when you look at most of the reports that were coming out from COVID, a lot of people who had higher BMIs, BMI is when your weight is very high than your ideal body weight, you find that they were at more risk of being hospitalized. And over the past decade, the report says there have been particularly large and concerning increases globally in exposure to several high preventable risks: obesity, high blood pressure, alcohol abuse, drug use. And this is where it really gets thick. The report says the associated risks with the highest number of deaths worldwide for females in all ages in 2019 was high blood pressure, dietary risk like low food intake, high salt, high fat plasma glucose, and then high body mass index, that is a higher body weight than the ideal body weight for a person. And you look at the report and it has a lot of correlation between somebody's weight and their health, somebody's intake and disease cause. And you find that diabetes is becoming one of the leading causes of death and injury and loss of health in globally in our populations. So you find that the cost of inaction may not just be you not fitting into your dresses or having less mobility from here and there. It could be something like spending a lot of money managing health and disease. So why wait? The question is, why wait? It is important for you now because if you're thinking about it, one, could be God is telling you that it's time to take action, or it's just time that it's long overdue. You just needed to take an action a while ago. And a thought in the mind is good, but it doesn't cut the chase. An action put into your thoughts is what's going to bring in results. So the second most important reason, I think, apart from just looking at the risks of not taking action and not being the best version of what God has for you, is you matter. Your goals are valid. I know there's a lot of, it's a touchy issue when it comes to weight and women and ladies and weight loss, and especially even in the church today, it's a very touchy subject. People don't want to talk about it, and those who want to talk about it, sometimes it's a lot of shaming and it's a lot of, I don't want to go there. But you matter, your goals are valid, and no one else understands your goals more than you. Only you can spearhead achieving that goal. So you only can understand where your goals are. And sometimes the other person standing next to you may not understand your goals. And unless you can take the full responsibility of achieving your goals, it's going to be difficult for other people to really see that. Sometimes we take on goals and let people follow us through. A lot of time, the people we live with may not support us in those goals. It's sad. It's not what it's supposed to be, but sad, it's a reality. And you have an assignment to do. And this is what I was talking about. And I think this is the most important is you have an assignment from God, whether it's to take care of your children, whether it's to take care of yourself, whether it's in the workplace where you live, that assignment needs you healthy. So that's why we need to take action now and not later. And this journey, or the ladies that I work with, I don't think I would be able to work with everybody. But if you're tired of cycles of dieting, you don't want to starve yourself to death, like those who like food and eating, You don't like to exercise. You don't like spending loads of cash on your wardrobe. There are dresses you would like to wear that you wore maybe years ago and you don't wear them anymore because they don't fit. Or you've been trying to avoid going into places. You don't go into gatherings. You don't go to church functions anymore. You can't go to community. When you have work events, you don't want to go because you don't feel like your presentation physically is what you would want. It's not optimal. Then this is for you. And you're feeling defeated all the time because, like it or not, how our bodies are healthy or not healthy, what we eat affects how we think. It affects our predisposition mentally, and that even mental state then in turn goes and affects our health. So when we are feeling all defeated and we are anxious and we have all these things, we also need to double check, am I healthy enough? And then you have no energy to play with your family, to stay with your people. You can wake up in the morning, you snooze the alarm several times. You have no desire to look forward on occasions or desired events and things that are expected in your life. It's a journey that you want to take. I want to know, I'm curious to know, what is it that resonates most with you in the list of the things that you're tired of? And what is it that you're looking to kind of deal with and not see anymore in your life? Tell me in the chat. So we have, you're tired of dieting, you're tired of spending lots of cash, you have wardrobe that you've not worn, you go to look for a dress for an occasion and nothing fits anymore, you have to go address higher. And you're tired of those things. And so these are the things that really, or even if it's not here, tell me what has made you tired, like completely tired. Like, I just want to get over this. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to live like this anymore. I want to change. What is that one thing, either on this list or not? It is in your list because you understand yourself better. And unless I can hear from you, we will not be able to get to the goal. So tell me, what is that one or two things that you're like, I'm tired of this. I want this gone. I want this changed. And if I had the power to, I would change it. So I just want to be comfortable in myself. That's a good one because a body that is not the ideal weight and you're not comfortable with where you are, it affects our self-esteem. And imposter syndrome, the studies show that it's on the rise, and much of it is also interrelated with how we see our weight. So changing my wardrobe, somebody feeling lethargic, somebody's tired of changing their wardrobe. So thank you for putting all those things on the chat. Yeah, tired of dieting, lovely clothes in the wardrobe, and you can't wear them. I completely understand. So that's a great, yeah, I want to eat and not, okay, let me read that correct. I want to eat to live and not to live to eat. Absolutely, because we can just be controlled. We love food, we do this, but we can't just live to eat. We have to eat to live, and we can leverage that power of food to achieve those goals. Okay. So I want us to participate. We're already doing that so splendidly. I really appreciate. Let's have fun. If you have questions, please write them down, or you can even put them in the chat and we can go through them at the end of it all. If something is really, you want it answered immediately, just put in the chat or just unmute yourself and because we are not many, so I can take in those interjections. So if you really have a pressing question, just go ahead and put in unmute yourself and say, excuse me, and we can talk about it, because I don't think we are many. I can take in a few questions here and there. But if you want to write it down, just be bold and we can talk about it at the end of it. So myself, who am I, and what gives me the right to bring you to my screen today? So one, I'm just a girl who has been loved by Jesus. My journey has been a journey of grace, fallenness, seeing God work in my life, being graced, growing with a lot of people who have been sent to my life in a deep way. And I'm just another girl who has been loved by Jesus. I'm a mom of 3. I love God. I have 2 girls and 1 boy, and my mom is on Zoom today. And the last time I said my mom was here, everybody thought that my mom had come to visit. No, she's on Zoom with me. She just joined the call. So that's what it is. I am a registered dietitian in the US. So one of the benefits that you will get from working with me is because a lot of weight loss coaches out there, they don't have an educational backing. I am a registered dietitian, and if you have other diseases or lifestyle diseases that you're working to overcome or reverse, that's something we can look. So that's going to be an added advantage that we can look into. I'm also a certified nutrition weight loss coach, and we will be able to look into that. I myself personally, I gained a lot of weight over the years. For the last 10 years, like I'm saying, it's been a journey. And one of these days, we're going to deeply talk about my story, because I think it's been encouraging me, because when I look back at it, when you get into those moments, you're like, I need a breath of fresh air. God has also used my own story to encourage me. And I think it will encourage somebody else. And I had to look for somebody to hold my hand as a coach. And a time when I just didn't know what I was doing, the education that I had was fumbled and it was scattered everywhere. And I just need to put everything into perspective. So walking alone is really not a good thing. It helps to walk with somebody else holding your hand. So I developed the process that I have through learning from people who have done it successfully, looking at the education that I have, but also walking in my own journey. And those times of ups and downs, and trying to learn the things that work and the things that don't work, trying things that didn't work, and just dieting and starving myself and trying things. And then 1 minute I'm down, 1 minute I'm up, and being able now to sustain the weight for a while, and being able to look at all the other things and the advantage of being a dietitian and also a maternal and health specialist. So that's why I enjoy working with women so much, because there's a lot of things that weave together into our stories. So far, how are we doing? I need to hear some of Mom. Welcome. How are you doing? You muted, Mom. Yeah.
Okay.
So, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good. All right. We'll continue. I don't want to take people's time too much, but I needed to say hi to you. So, how are we doing? I hope we are getting to see how, one, you're in charge of your story, and God has given you all the tools right in your kitchen, the things that you need to make this journey go forward. And like I said, my story and my journey and my method majors in two major things: whatever comes out from your kitchen and whatever goes into your heart, which is your faith, your mindset. Because I come in from a biblical mindset, because that's the language I understand. And God has given us so many tools. He has given us the capacity to change our stories. But then we have to be humble, we have to be willing, and we have, like Proverbs says, if you're willing and obedient, you will eat the good of the land. And we have to have that humility to be willing to see where we have not done right, and what we can, we have to be in agreement with the things that are, the reality that is, but how can we change the realities that we don't want to what we want? Okay. So what is really nutrition-based weight loss? It's real food, limiting the amount of processing involved, because a lot of processing takes away a lot of nutrients. And a lot of people will eliminate different macros like carbs. A lot of people will go ahead and say, I'm not eating carbs, I'm going to cut weight on that aspect. It's not going to work like that. So we have to engage with real food. We have to, everything has been given for our health. Limiting and completely eliminating, unless you have an allergy. Now that's a different story that we have to work to, but on the ideal is using all the food groups to be able to help us to propel our weight loss and health. We need adequate water. Real food is not enough to cut it when we don't have a healthy mind. How do you think of yourself? If you go to the mirror at 160 kilograms or wherever kgs you are today or pounds you are today, and you look yourself in the mirror and you do not like the person you are at all, and you are not comfortable with yourself, it's going to be very hard for you to like yourself when you get to your ideal body weight. I have seen this in books, but I have seen this also personally, because unless you, and that's where the healthy mind and mindset comes in. Because unless you can like the person in the mirror when you're 120 kgs, Even when you're 50, it's going to be difficult because it's a mindset process. And I always tell people, as if you're a believer, if you trust God and you know God, you have an active enemy who, no matter what is happening, they will try to look for something they're going to use to attack you. So we have to come from the aspect of, I like myself, I love myself, I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and we have to be comfortable no matter what. I always say, a heavyweight of Naomi can achieve life and live healthy and happy and happy in my heart. But I have my ideal body weight. I'm 110 pounds, and I am unhealthy in my mind. The stress will kill me before my weight kills me. So they have to go hand in hand. Stress management comes in handy in terms of our healthy mindset. Sleep. We live in a world where it's spinning 200 degrees. I don't know. The speed is just way too much for whatever is happening in the world. But rest is important. So we need our bodies rested, because if we don't get adequate sleep, then our body's metabolism is going to just go haywire. We're going to get to see all these hormonal imbalances. And if your hormones are not balanced in your body, it's going to be very difficult to lose weight and sustain it for a long time. Healthy relationship, community is important. We can't live this journey alone. Life generally, not even just weight loss, life cannot be done on solo control. It has to be lived while in healthy relationships. And that can mean different things to different people, depending on their stages of life or where they are in life. So a nutrition-based loss will end cycles of dieting and starvation. It will put an end to spending unnecessarily on new wardrobes. Now, those things that we looked at up there, it would just help you enjoy dressing up, engaging in preferred gatherings. You dress up and go into places where you want to go. You don't dress up in the morning, you're going to church, or you're going for a function on Saturday, or whatever, you're going for a wedding of a friend or something. You're like, okay, this dress, you take out all the dresses in your wardrobe before you can say, now I have a dress that I can fit on. It helps you in that. It helps you stop feeling defeated. It boosts your energy. It helps you create new neurons in your brain, and you're able to regenerate your mindset. It gives clarity in thinking, increasing your daily energy levels, and also it helps you look forward to the day. Increases your mobility. It reduces your bad cholesterol, increasing your good one. It helps your hormones to balance because of all those creation of good cholesterol. It regulates sexual health. It regulates blood pressure. And we've seen that blood pressure and diabetes are one of the highest leading causes of deaths in the globe today. So how do you do it? So we have three main pillars in what I call the nutrition-based weight loss from a biblical perspective, or from a faith perspective. So one is faith. So you have to be the person you want to be in the future today. So, and that it's meaning I have to change the way I think. If I am looking to the difference between iPhone 14, if you know anything about Apple or any phones out there, but I will use Apple because that's the phone I'm using. The difference between iPhone 14 and iPhone 13 is the operating system. So you can't use an operating system for a lower version and say it's the newer version. You have to upgrade the operating system to give you different things at different speeds, different capacities, able to accommodate different functions. You have to change the operating system to create an iPhone. Like now, I don't know if they're creating iPhone 15 or which one, but the next version of iPhone, you can't just call it iPhone 14 or 15 or whatever number it is, just because you want to give it a name. It has to be created. So you have to create a new operating system. And that's the mind. We have to see, I always say 20% is your exercise, your food, your everything else, but 80% is your mindset. When you can see it and you can plan it and you can live it in your mind, you can live it practically. So we have to start from tearing down. What are the things that are holding me back? And this is where honest comes in. Because if I'm not honest with myself, I'm not going to achieve my results. So you have to be honest with yourself, humble with yourself, and know if I am not going to face what holds me back, what are the faults of belief that are holding me back, then I'm not going to face my future. Deal with everything that is preventing you from being the person you want to become. Be honest about it and face it squarely. Take responsibility where it's needed. Seek help where you need help. Be you first. Make the environment valid for you later. So you have to create that operating system first. You have to change that operating system. And then you have to create the new you. And then now go live it out and practice what you've created in your mind. Tear down. And then now that also bundles up with breaking down the nutrition lifestyles that don't serve you. You have to learn your body, because what the foods that affect my body may not be the foods that affect my body. Somebody who can eat a little bit more of meat may not be able to eat a little bit more of potatoes. It depends on what food works best. And that's where we also nail down when I'm working with you. We get to see what are the foods that work best with your body. How do you listen to your body? How do you learn how your body and what you want? And how do we go back to the baseline and try to kind of build the building blocks onto the baseline and creating a new fresh start? So you achieve it by trying to forge. Now you upgrade the nutrition. You've tried to kind of break down also believe things that hold you, things that are not serving you. You've torn them down. You've broken completely. You've created a fallow ground. But now you can't live in an empty space. You cannot live in, I think if you don't get anything from this training today, get these 3 principles. You have to break down what doesn't work, both in your mindset and in your nutrition. And 2, you have to build on. Even Paul said in the Bible, cast off the old man and put on the new man. Because if you leave it open, if you leave it without anything, if you're trying to fight your negative thoughts, you're trying to fight things that have held you for long and years and years and years, things that have affected you, but then you don't replace it with something else, then it's going to be really hard. You have to build onto that. If you're breaking your nutrition down, that doesn't work. Negative food habits, negative food thoughts, negative, the way you look at yourself, the way you speak to yourself, the way you talk to yourself, and relationships and community, you have a support system that encourages you, that builds you, that you build them, because relationships are 2-way. You have to build, upgrade your nutrition, upgrading the OS. You've turned down the bad operating system. You have now to build the correct operating system, both in nutrition and in terms of mindset. You have to see yourself the way God sees you. You have to see the way yourself that God wants to see you. You have to know yourself for who you are. There's a lot in social media. There's a lot in our workplaces, even in our homes. There's a lot of families that would tear people down, would want you to be broken. Some intentionally, some not intentionally, but you have to take that responsibility to build on to the good operating system. In terms of nutrition, one of the major things that needs to happen for you to lose weight is creating a caloric deficit. A caloric deficit simply means your intake is a little bit lower than what your body needs at this point. And how do you do that successfully without causing yourself to be malnourished and causing yourself to be starved? Because then starvation is not going to help. So how do you know when too much is too much? How do you know when it's okay? Where you are, it works. Now that's where we come in down and break down the math and kind of see specifically for you, what do you need to eat? How much do you need to eat? And how do you combine the foods? What foods work for you and what foods doesn't work for you? How do we limit processed food? Because at the end of the day, the processing that we're having today, it has a lot of preservatives. I always say, if you see 1, 2, when we start going beyond 3 chemicals in your food packaging, then we are getting to the red zone. If you cannot read the names that are written on those packagings and processed food, then you start questioning the authenticity of that food. So the way the process is, if a food doesn't have an expiration date, if you put it there and the shelf life is like you can use it for as long as, unless it's dried seeds and grains and those kind of stuff, then you need to start questioning that kind of food. How? Because food is not made to stay forever. But unless you create a caloric deficit, you're never going to lose weight. You have to create a weave between your life and your food. You can't say, I'm going to do this just for today. Yes, creating the calorie deficit needs to happen for the long time, for the time that you need to achieve your ideal body weight. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. But once you get into into the maintenance mode where you are maintaining your weight, because you're not going to lose weight forever. You will get to a point where you're maintaining what you have. Then you need to create that width. And this is where the sustainability comes in. You can't separate, this is my dieting part and this is my church life. This is my work life and this is my home life. This is my diet life. Now that's where dieting messes up things. Because when you separate the two, then you're going to be in trouble. You have to create a weave and a sustainable model. It may take a long time, but that's the best way. I would rather we take a long time to kind of achieve that balance between your life, your food, your relationships, your lifestyle, the things that matter in your life, and weave that together, form a tapestry that works. Then crush yourself. You're just focusing on the food that you're eating only. It takes you a short amount of time to lose the weight, and then it all comes back knocking. And from practice, from experience, when you lose weight and you lose weight in a bad way and you gain it, it comes with grandchildren, great-grandchildren. It comes in reloaded. You don't gain just what you lost. You gain what you lost and even much more. So keeping it off is you repeat the process again. You keep tearing down the things that don't serve you. You keep tearing the things that come to attack you. You keep tearing down bad perceptions, imposter syndrome, those things that come to tear you and attack you and make you not feel you belong to the table. And repeat that again. You break down you fight, and I'm using that word fight very loosely because we don't want to get into a fight and a flight mode. But you keep tearing down what doesn't work, and you keep building on what works. You keep planning your body. You keep building. You maintain the upgraded nutrition. You sustain that. And that's why I don't tell you, okay, today you're eating chicken, or today you're eating this and this. I don't give specific foods when I'm working with you. We come in and we see what is available and what is something that is going to work for you. Then how can we, the only things that I'm really hardline on is very highly processed food. But if it's natural food, it's natural, meaning it is in its production state. Like if it's chicken, it's just plain chicken. It's not like ground. It's not like sausages and things like that. So if it is in its natural state, the way in its production, then we are good. But I don't sit and tell you, this is what you have to eat specifically, this for this week, but then that is not sustainable. What is sustainable is, these are the groups of food. We try as much as possible to eliminate processing. We bundle them up on things that you like to eat, because I'm looking at 2 years, 3 years, 6 years, 10 years. That is what will be sustainable. Keep that future being you. Keep living in the future now, because, for example, I hear people say, if you want to be a CEO, you have to go study the life of a CEO and the journey to become a CEO. If you want to become a dietitian, I had to look into the things. Okay, what do I need to become a dietitian? And it's the same thing. If I want to be healthy, if I want to get from 2.0 to 4.0 version of operating system in my mind, how does that look like? And then I start creating that mindset. I start creating that person in my head, and I can't live in the same place and expect to get different results. So the other thing that is very important is you have to create a community, a like-minded, get coaches. I'm here to help you. If you have things in your life that have been like, I can't handle this. This thing happened 10 years ago. This thing happened and it's still holding me. It's still giving me a mindset. Remember, the Bible says your heart is the outspring of all issues of life, and your heart is controlled by your mind. If something happened at some point and you've not gotten over it, and you can't get over it on your own, look for a Christian therapist. Look for a therapist out there. Talk to somebody, because you can't walk alone. You have to know the people that are behind you, that hold you back. Create that community. We don't walk alone. And then most important, you have to look at your health from what God wants. What are the promises that God has given? I know we pray for food, we pray when people get sick, but we are not so much in the habit of praying, God, I need a healthy body weight. God, we don't really look at those things. And I don't know, maybe it's just my mind. Sometimes we may think they are petty. They're not things that we can bring into the table of prayer. But trust me, It's nothing that is petty. If it affects you, if it affects how you live your life, how you relate to other people, and how your health is, then it's worth praying for. So what are the promises that God has given? God has given us herbs, food God has given us for the healing of man. How do we leverage that gift of food and in God's grace achieve the results that we want to achieve? The other aspect of faith and God is sometimes we just eat days on end. And even science has proven that taking extended period of time. Okay, and I want you to get the difference between fasting and starvation. And this is something I kind of really dive into when it comes to the coaching. Fasting is totally different from starving yourself because there's an agenda. It is planned, it is structured, but when you're just starving yourself, it's a mind game and it's messing up with your neurological aspects. So those things and those disciplines of prayer, fasting, and incorporating those things together could be also tools, but you can't get to feasting and fasting and that aspect of life before you can even master the art of taming and tearing down the things that don't serve you. It has to be a process. You can't just do one thing today and then jump everywhere. It has to be a systematic growth. And that's why I keep saying, build yourself. Whoever you want to be tomorrow, build that person today. How are we doing so far? What is one thing that you're looking to implement so far? So we have those 3 pillars. So we have to try to tear down. We have to break down things. We have to forge that is good, build that which is good. And we have to repeat that over and over and over again. We have to, and we can walk alone. So that's where community comes in walking it over and over again. So tell me one thing, tell me something in the chat. What is one thing that you're looking to implement from today? Because you have great things here that you can take home today and say, this is what I'm going to work on. And I'm going to write it down. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to look at it every day. And this is what I'm going to be working on. Because you can start creating that version of OS system, OS operating system even today. You can start engaging with your tomorrow today by creating and putting those systems and structures in place. So keep telling me in the chat, what is that one thing that you're looking? So somebody break down that food, what food work for me. So it's good to start keeping a diary. If you're somebody who writes down when you eat, start observing. How do I feel? Do I feel bloated? What are my bowel? How many times do I go to the bathroom? How many times do I feel? When is the last time I really felt hungry? Because most of the people we live today, we don't never feel hungry because we are constantly eating. If we're not eating a meal, we are snacking. If we are not snacking, we are drinking something that has calories and all. There's constant pouring of food in our bodies. How do I feel when I'm hungry? Like you have to start kind of getting in tune with, how do I feel? What is my baseline? What is my baseline? And how do I respond to food? Because unless you learn that aspect, it's going to be hard. But it's very possible. It's rewarding. Why is it not going? Okay, there we go. So comment on the chat. What's the one thing that you want to implement after today to get your goal? So somebody says they're going to kind of start tearing down the foods that work for them, and that was kind of break that down. What works for them, what doesn't work for them. So we make it personal. Nutrition principles are very universal, but the application is very personal. It's not a one size fits all. As much as the principle works for everybody, not all foods work the same way for everybody. So you have to make it personal. So that's me a few years ago, and this is 2023. You see, somebody in the chat says, because our schedule is so hectic, we find ourselves eating quick and healthy foods because it's easy. We eat late because we get home late. That's what I need help with. That's something we can work on and kind of structure those processes and just work it on. And that's a good observation. Yeah, because like I was saying, the world today is running on a cruise mode. This is a lady I worked with, and she, from time to time, we still get together because one of the things that I do, I'm just not doing this to get to quick and go, and because I really know, I understand. Getting to your goal, it's not just going to take the 3 months we're going to work together. It takes longer. And I walk with you. You get in touch with me. We walk until you get to your goal. And it may be in between spaces of long silence, but the more you participate to your journey, the more you're likely to see results. So this is just testimonials from other people. So someone was saying, yes, I achieved my goal. I got to discipline my body and eat healthy, and portion control. Portion control was a challenge, but it's something they were getting into. So it's possible. Food is addictive. That's one thing. And when you, like I always say, to every force, there's an equal and opposite reaction. When you start making changes towards a positive goal, you're going to get opposition. Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's as much as it's a simple method, it's a very hard method, because if it was easy, then everybody will not be struggling with weight loss today. But we have to work it out. You create that path and keep consistently to it until a new pathway is built. I have been learning how to eat healthy even with a chaotic day, and working on how to maintain this through my stressful days. I recognize the days I don't eat right. I want to learn more on how to keep my goal. Thank you, Elizabeth. So it is possible to kind of tweak those things and put those things in place. So today I'm inviting you to make your goals a priority. I'll help you get your results efficiently without wasting time. I'll help you to personalize your nutrition. Like I said, it has to be personal. And that's one major reason why I don't do meal plans for people. Because if I do a meal plan for you, it's going to get tedious, one, it's going to get monotonous, and two, it's not sustainable long term, because then I will need to be creating your meal plan every week for the rest of your life. But when you learn the game of mixing your foods that work for you and what to do, how you can enjoy your food while getting your results, then it just makes it all better. I do have a 12-week coaching program I have the next cohort beginning on September 16th. So we have kind of a month to go. I do have a wait list, but and I'm going to put the link. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Let me stop sharing for a minute. I'm going to put the link in the chat. If you want to join the wait list, I do have discounts opening up on Sunday night. That's on the 20th. Today's 19th. Tomorrow night, my time, I'll have discounts going live. So I'm going to put that on the chat. If you're interested in joining that wait list to get the fast notification of the discounts that are going live on Sunday night, feel free. And then we can the earlier you sign up, the earlier we start talking, and we can have even as many meetings before the 16th and get more advantage before the rest join up. And because that's something we can always work on your schedules. So let me go ahead and share my screen one more time. So feel free to sign up. If you get trouble signing up in that link, let me know. Okay, so join the waitlist. I do have, and so let me just break it down what happens during that. So it's the final call to join the waitlist. I'm going to be closing the waitlist next week on Friday. So the discounts open, the initial discount opens on Sunday night, ends on Tuesday night. And you must be on the wait list to receive the discount. Only 10 slots will be available for those who want to get the highest discount. Let's see. So meal planning, that is the best part. I have learned so much about how to look at my foods and make meals for me, even starting to make healthier meals for the family. That's awesome, Elizabeth. All right, so I do see we are running short of time. So the 12-week coaching program, these are the specifics. I do meet with you personally. There are things you can never discuss in a group, things personal, only pertaining to you. So I do have a one-on-one every other week. So that's like a total of 6 sessions. We do have weekly group classes. We meet every week. I'm still finalizing the timing, but it's most likely going to be on Saturdays. I just need to figure out exactly what time. Then I will also be releasing a training video every week that you can watch in and internalize throughout the week. And then before we start on the 16th, we will have at least 2 meetings with you, where we go through your nutrition goals. What is your nutrition status? What are the things that you need to be looking at, or things that we personalize for you specifically that you need to be working on within the 3 months and even beyond? So that's where we come in with the individualized meal planning coaching. I am not going to plan the meals for you, but we go through the principles on how to combine the foods. And we also discuss and break down the principles in the group classes. But when we are meeting before the start of the program, we are able to see, okay, what are the things that are going to be most available for you, quick and easy, depending on whether you work night shifts, whether you work day shift, whether you have a busy schedule, whether you're light schedule. So we make that personal and individual to you. There's also a 1-year free membership group that is private. It's only for those people who have gone through the program. I do have a general Facebook group, but that's for everybody who has ever worked with me or not. But I do have a private group where it's only for those who have worked with me. And then after the 3 months, we continue, at least for the next year, you have continued support. You can ask your questions. You can, you can put your questions there. We can discuss. I'm looking forward in this fall to kind of bring in speakers and be able to kind of hear different teachers, not just see, okay, this is just Naomi's thing. So when you hear somebody who's done it and they're able to achieve results, then you're able to kind of also resonate with that. So that's what entails, and even more benefits with the 12-week coaching program. So again, that's the link. Next cohort begins on September 16th, and only 10 slots are available for early sign up. So are you tired of the cycles of never-ending weight? You gain, you lose, you have fatigued all the time, you're changing your wardrobe every other month, and you're guilty, you're shaming yourself, you eat this and you start feeling guilty, like, oh, why did I even eat that? What is happening? Like, you're guilting yourself all the time because you don't like the choices that you make of food. You're avoiding your favorite places to go due to low self-esteem, imposter syndrome. And I'm not saying that those things will not be knocking your door, but then you have the tools and a community that helps you to kind of cross those barriers. So then the 12-week coaching program is for you. And what does it mean for you to just lose 10 to 20 kilograms by the end of the year? For those who are looking to lose 20 pounds or 40 pounds, 20 kgs, 10 kgs, what does that look like? How, before we can finish and go to the question, I have 2 minutes. Please tell me in the chat, what would that mean for you if you just lost 10 kilograms? For those who work in pounds, that's around 22 pounds. What would that mean for your daily living to lose that? Let me hear you in the chat. What would that mean for you to just lose 10 to 20, actually just 10 kilograms, which is like 22 pounds? What difference? And just to give you a motivation, the CDC and other health bodies will tell you just a 5% loss of body weight can greatly improve your blood pressure. It can lower your blood pressure metrics by 10%. Just 5% weight loss. So that's a huge difference. And it affects a lot of other things. You have your blood pressure flowing correctly, then you have a lot of benefits. So run towards your upgraded operating system. And what are your questions? So comfortably walking without getting my knee ache. Yes. So when I was at my highest, I started having my joints swelling and protruding out, and just losing the weight helped a lot of my hand flexibility. Like now at work, I'm typing so much. And when I start to eat poorly, because believe it or not, I have to keep myself in check. Like, food is not a respecter of anybody. If you play around with it, you don't take the steps, you don't employ the tools, you're going to be affected. Whether it's me who is I think I would just feel better all over. Yes, that's true. Feeling like a whole new person with knowing I did it and feeling so much better doing things with my granddaughter. Awesome. So just that 5% weight loss can make a big and a huge difference. So what it is, any questions? Anybody who is feeling bold enough, we are on top of the hour. If you have to run, that's okay. But if you have a question or you need to stay behind and just discuss something, I'm here. Let's go ahead. I'm open for chats and chatting and questions. not being on the edge on being pre-diabetic, yes, that will mean a huge difference for your A1C, Eva. So just lowering that A1C and just bringing things into the green zone would make a huge difference. And for some reason, like I was reading an article that was saying in South Africa, half of their budget in 2030 is going to be just in managing diabetes. That's huge. Like just half of the budget, the health budget, will just be directed to managing outpatient diabetes. That's too much. So I watch my 8-month-old daughter 8 to 10 hours. I'm definitely not as young as I used to be. I need the energy. Yes. And being diabetic, that's something you can take control of, and it's possible. Any questions before we call it a day? You can unmute yourself. You can put it on the chat. Feel free.
Hi, Naomi.
Hey.
Just to say that the link that you've put is the link for today's meeting in the chat.
No, so the link I put on the meeting is for the wait list. So for the replays to this meeting, I'm going to email everybody after, maybe somewhere by the time it's finished to upload, maybe probably by the end of today. So I should be able to send a replay of the recording. But the link that I put on the chat is for the wait list. If you want to be on the wait list to receive a discounted price by Sunday night, that's the link for that.
It looks different because when I clicked on it, it's gone on to Zoom link.
Okay, I'm sorry. I put in the wrong one. Thank you for mentioning. I'm sorry. Okay, let me give you the correct one. Thank you for mentioning that. I copied the wrong one. All right, so thank you, Fally, for mentioning that. Okay, try and see if that works better. Yes, thank you, Paula. Okay, try that one and see.
That's worked. That's better.
Okay, wow, awesome. Any other question?
Shall we talk on price, please?
Sorry?
Shall we know a little bit about the price, please? The costs?
So right now, the cost of the entire program is $750 for the 3 months and the continued 1 year tech support and one-on-one support. But the discount, I'm finalizing on the discount. I want to be able to see, to see how much I'm going to give the discount. I'm thinking either 50% or 75%. I'm not finalized with the discount, but the full pricing of the program as of now is $750. I don't know how much that is in pounds. Let me see. I don't know. I haven't done conversions for pounds in a while, so I don't want to lie. Any other question? So look out for the email with the links to the discounts and see. I'm thinking of either 50% or 75%, depending on how you want it, how bad you want to get your results. Okay, then if we don't have any question, I really, really appreciate your participation. And thank you so much for coming in to spend an hour of your Saturday with me. And I'm praying that you will have a great weekend. God bless you, and we'll see you soon. If you have any question, just go ahead and I'm gonna put in my, okay. If you have any question, feel free to message me on Facebook and we can get in touch. If you need my email, go just reply to one of the emails that I sent for the reminders of this meeting, and I should be able to get your message, just in case you're not on Facebook. So that way I don't give you too many things to click.
Sorry, Naomi, what's your Facebook account, or how do we get to you on Facebook, please? So
I am Naomi Tadeo on Facebook. Let me copy you my Facebook link. And I feel free to join the Facebook. I have a Facebook group. I'm actually going to be sharing my weight loss story on my Facebook somewhere this week. Where did it go? Yeah, I'm gonna give you. Do you want the group or you just want the account, the Facebook account?
The public account, the public group, please.
Okay, give me a minute. I'm gonna pull that for you right now. Okay, quickly. You think I'm faster in pulling these things out. All right, there we go. I'm gonna put it on the chart. All right. So if you click that, you'll be invited to join the group and I'm going to approve you. And then you can always inbox me and we can keep in touch. So go ahead. I will watch out for the email with the discount registration and I'm looking forward. So go ahead and click the waitlist and then watch out for the emails. All right. Thank you so much. If you're free to go, if you're going to go, I think we are done unless you have a topic you want us to discuss. I'm here.
Do you mind clarifying what happens after the 12 weeks? So it's a 3-month program, but after the 12 weeks, people join is it like the private Facebook page you were saying?
So when you join the current program, like you start the 3 months, I put you on a group just for the people who are doing that cohort. That's where we post our meal pictures. That's where we post accountability. That's where I post in the trainings. And if you're not on Facebook, then I'm able to kind of attach them to a file and you're able to listen throughout the week. We meet on Saturdays. We'll be meeting on Saturdays on Zoom for our weekly meetings. One-on-one is also on Zoom. Once the 3 months are over, then I move you to the 1-year Facebook group. In that group, you can text and even we can, if you need to set up a meeting, we can set up a meeting and discuss your progress. You can, but in that period, after the 3 months, I want to see you taking more charge than me being the guide. So, but for me, it's just like, yes, you're on the right path. No, can we reconsider this? What is going on? And then that emotional support. And if there's anything else that needs support in your life, we can intertwine that. But it's 1 year of continued support. Like if you need anything, you just like, I'm struggling in this area. Can we touch base? Yes. You can ask questions on the group. There will be speakers that will be coming. I will be doing lives on the group. I will be continuously teaching on meal because I think the biggest key is combination of meals and just planning your meals around your life. And then we have those continued teaching. Basically, you have continued kind of group or one-on-one support for the next year. Because I know for somebody to really solidify the weight loss, it will take a minimum of a year. Does that answer your question, Philippe?
It does, yeah. Thank you very much.
Good. Yeah. So that's a lot of coaches out there. Once you're done with your program, it's bye-bye. But I want to see people solidify their results. Like just have it going for a long time. So it's wonderful having all the support and guidance. I have lost 20 pounds with it. Yes. So Elizabeth, we started with her sometimes back. I don't exactly remember. And we've seen a lot of progress. I'm just liking the changes that she's making and how she's taking control of just all the life and food areas of our life. So it's awesome. I look forward to interacting with everybody. Okay. All right, I am going to.
Good day.
All right, Mama. You have a good day. I'll talk to you later, Mom.
Okay. Karim.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Eva. It was nice meeting you. I hope we are going to be in touch for a long time. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. I really do appreciate and have a blessed weekend. Good night to those who are going to sleep. Good day to those who are still awake. So God bless you and have a great time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.